Hello everyone and welcome back to Train Sim World 5. Today we are on the West Coast Mainline South route and we are using On Track Simulations 2019 timetable mod, which is probably one of the more comprehensive timetables. Now bear in mind you won't see all of the services that come with the timetable mod, because some of them involve using the class 378 from the Mile Main line, some involve using the Cargo Line Volume 3, things like that. So yeah, we are in the class 350/1 in the old style LNWR livery, which with the old LNWR logo operated by West Midlands Trains, which does not come with the base route. I'm also running the West Coast Mainline South enhancement pack, and I'm also running sound mods for basically every train on this route, apart from the 1972 tube stock and the class 66. So yeah, let's get straight into it. This service is going all the way from Euston to Milton Keynes, which it will then continue on as AI off the map to Rugeley Trent Valley. So yeah. As you can tell, performance is not exactly stellar at Euston. Master key, please. Come on. Reverser. Instrument lights. Headlights. Let's also get the safeties on. West Coast Mainline South is actually one of the more terrible routes released in the past few years. It was, quite frankly, unfinished. There weren't enough overground and underground services, and also it had an incomplete timetable, and also the Class 350 was noticeably unfinished and had a lack of dynamic suspension. Yeah, so what are our stops for today? Harrow, Wealdstone, Watford Junction, Hemel Hempstead, Berkhamsted, Tring, Cheddington, Leighton Buzzard, Bletchley, and Milton Keynes Central. So yeah, I'm using a sound mod for the Class 350. Yeah, you can see why the performance is slightly bad, because yeah, it's not. There's a load of trains here, and also in this area. Like, look at that. That is nuts. Okay. Next stop, Harrow and Wealdstone in 10 miles. Oh my goodness. 16 frames per second. No wonder this is a PC-only mod. Consoles would look at this and just explode. Let's open the window, why not? Oh. It's the UK. What's the UK without some good old-fashioned rain? I love this timetable mod. Despite the fact I'm not able to access all the services, I am still seriously impressed by what OTS were able to do. On-track simulation were able to do with this. I do like the sounds. Like, the sounds of the 350 normally are actually really decent. But, yeah. Oh, there's a... One thing about the West Coast Mainline South Enhancement Pack is that it re-adds the LNWR branding back in, which is huge because, like, no LNWR branding is one of the major problems this route suffers from. Oh no. Oops-a-daisy. There's another Pendo. One cool thing about this timetable is that it's also the Virgin Trains era. No Avanti nonsense. Pure... We're clear up to 75 miles an hour. We're a simple 4-car unit today. Can't believe how many mods I'm running. But in my opinion, that the mods really make this route playable. In my opinion, the route by itself is not playable in its current condition. Sad to say, especially as I know the console chappies can't do anything about it. Except maybe get Creators Club liveries for the 350. There's Queen's Park off to our right, ladies and gents. So yeah, now we'll have the Watford DC and London Underground Bakerloo lines following us all the way up to for the Bakerloo line up to Harrow and Wealdstone, and for the Watford DC line up to Watford. I do like this. I do definitely prefer this older LNWR livery to the modern one. My goodness, that was loud. Who knows, we may even spot a Class 87 rail tour. 5.5 miles to Harrow and Wealdstone. We are beginning to get somewhat better frames now that we're out of the Euston area. Okay, we are clear up to 90 miles an hour. My goodness, this route suffers from horrendous performance. Miles to Harrow. My goodness. This thing has powerful brakes. Oh, this is Wembley Central, isn't it? Central. Frame rate, dude. Why? Wait a minute, I've got a Pendo overtaking. A version Silk Pendo. That's cool. You don't get too many routes where that happens. Miles to Harrow. I think we can start braking pretty soon because this is actually a pretty well... I think that was what was causing the bad performance. That Pendo was sticking behind me and keeping the frame rate down. That's pretty funny. 1.4 miles to Harrow Wealdstone. 350. 12 car noise. I love how they can do formation. I love how the 350s can do formations, like old and new liveries can do formations with each other. I don't think I've ever recorded myself driving the Class 350 before. I've done a guard mode service in the 350 back when guard mode was brand new, but I can stop in time. This thing is incredible brakes. I haven't even got above 40% brakes so far. one thing that also annoys me about WCML South is the lack of the St. Albans Abbey branch. Like, why do we have that? It's a bit ridiculous that we don't have the St. Albans Abbey branch, especially since the Euston to Birmingham route that comes with that we have in TS Classic is much more is A, much longer, B, also has the St. Albans Abbey branch. So yeah, here's the termination point for the Bakerloo line stuff, and also a stop for the underground, overground stuff as well. Wait a minute. Oh, it's a 12 car. I thought it was a 16 car 350 and thought that isn't prototypical. Next stop, Watford Junction in 5.7 miles. One thing that also annoys me about this route, but this is more dovetail and less about the mod creators, is we don't have Avanti class 220s or 221s in the game. At least I think they operate 220s. They might just operate 221s. Let me know down in the comments. I know we have a 221 in Train Simulator Classic, but come on, we need a 221 for TSW. Like, I know we'd just be running it under the wires on this route, but we could also then have like the North Wales coastline, bring the North Wales coastline route into Train Sim World. We have the DTG has the Avanti license, and it has the TFW Transport for Wales license. Like up. 3.4 miles to Watford Junction. station is this? Bushy, that's it. One mile to Watford Junction. Come on. We're 30 seconds early. Nice. Welcome to Watford Junction. This is where the London Overground line terminates. And here... Oh, no, it's over here, isn't it? That's the St. Albans Abbey branch. Lift. There's a 710 over here. Next stop, Hemel Hempstead in 6.7 miles. Full speed ahead. Aren't we coming up to... Yeah, there's the train coming in from St. Albans Abbey. Yeah, we're about to head into that tunnel, aren't we? I think this is the only point where the slow line branches off from the main line. .75 limit in force. That was the last of the major tunnels on this line. Berkhamsted at 4.5 miles. And finally, frame rate seems to be getting decent. 30 FPS, that's more than playable. Get up to 75 and then up to 100. One thing I absolutely adore about these mod timetables is the fact that there's just so much activity constantly. We'll be clear up to 100 in a minute. There we go, 100 is online. Limit coming up, so I will cut the power. There's so many services. Oh, we've got a Pendolino catching up from behind. It is the Euston to Glasgow. Glasgow Central. I probably... Let's see if I can see it. Yeah. Yeah, I see him. There he is. Oh, it's a 377 doing the Milton Keynes to East Croydon. Nowadays, that isn't a thing. That service terminates at Wembley Central nowadays. There goes the Pendolino. That's so cool. That's so cool, man. Oh no! Stop! Oh, we're gonna make it. Oh, thank goodness. Stop! 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 Naughty! Oh, we just made it! Oh my goodness. I was not paying attention. I got distracted by that Pendolino. That was way too close for comfort. Oh my goodness. Probably knocked a few people off their feet. But there you go. Is this... Yep. That was supposed to be my stop marker. Look at that. Realistic advertisements. Thanks to the WCML enhancement pack. And LNWR branding reinstated it on station signs. I've seen advertisements for that around. That's so cool. Next stop, Berkhamsted in 3.4 miles. Yeah, by default, this route is nothing less than mediocre. But now, it is superb with mods. I've been looking at this program called Third Rails, which is basically like a flight tracker but for train simulator. Looks very interesting. Why is that guy stopped? He is the Birmingham New Street to Euston. Imagine if we could run full. If we could do Birmingham to Euston in Train Sim World. That's where it should have been extended to, or at least up to Rugby, but preferably to Birmingham New Street, because then it would link up with the Birmingham Cross City route. And, oh, neutral section. That was another thing that wasn't simulated at the start. There we go. No need to faff around with circuit breakers like in the Class 87. Alright, 85 limit coming up. I will look at the brakes. No, come on. 0.6 miles. No! Thank goodness for the powerful brakes on the 350. I just got out of my chair, went straight to the roof. Why hasn't Dovetail fixed that bug? I had that bug when I was doing conductor mode in the 350, and that bug was present in the Class 153 for Cardiff, from Cardiff City Network. They patched that, and yet that bug is still present on a much older route, i.e. this one. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. We are running on time though, which is quite nice. So let's see. This is Berkhamsted, isn't it? Yeah, it's Berkhamsted. Next stop is Tring. Yeah, there's the Tring to Euston right there. Tring is where quite a few 350 services actually terminate. Then there's... So after Tring that we have Chiddington, Leighton Buzzard, and Bletchley and Milton Keynes Central. There's the Tring to Euston coming in now. One reason, I have heard that one reason WCML South is a lot busier with this timetable is because due to at-home working after the COVID-19 pandemic, there's far fewer people using the service into London, so I can understand why there are fewer trains running around. Next stop, train in 3.5 miles. Full power. Is there an intermittent wiper setting? Yeah, there is. There we go. We're clear up to 85 miles an hour, I think it was. Let's get a screenshot, why don't we? Oh, look! Photo mode caught the pantograph mid-spark. I'm taking a screenshot of that. That looks actually pretty cool. So if I adjust the focal point, that doesn't seem to work. There we go. I actually want to take a screenshot of that. That's not going to be the thumbnail, but that's pretty cool. I've never done that before. In over 1.5 years of using photo mode, I've never done that before. That's so cool, man. Let's turn motion blur up, and let's get the depth of field down. There we go. Actually, I want to decrease that bit. There we go. Actually, no. There we go. That's actually a really good looking unit. Just a pity it has to be for such a terrible route. You go up to 90 in a minute. 3 miles to train. DSD. Oh, we've got a tunnel approaching, but I'm not going to turn off the wipers because this is a very, very, very short tunnel. Miles to run. I pride myself on the tactics I do at TSW are turn all of the safety systems on, do it as realistically as possible, and try to stay as much on time as possible. And I pride myself on the fact that I adhere to that most of the time, apart from the fact when I'm doing like a route first look, and I'm doing a lot more exploring than driving, and I'm usually late on those like first look runs. One thing that I know this is probably going to sound controversial, but one thing that Rivet Games does that's better than Dovetail Games, hear me out, is that Rivet actually a lot of the time includes announcements, say for the Class 170 on what was it? The Class 170 on Fife Circle and the RHB 8/12 Allegra on the Benina line. Like, they actually go to the trouble of including announcements. Not which Dovetail doesn't, like, really do, like, at all. Wow, we're just under 2 minutes early. That is ridiculous. So how long are we here for? Next 2 minutes, right? Yes, let me get out of my... NWR branded screens. I can hear the vigilance. See if I can find any collectibles in the time I'm here. Yes! Look at that. Defibrillator? Doink. Oh, route map. I think? No, just a blank board. Oh my goodness. Are these doors still open? Yeah, they are. Shut you! Done. Cheddington, it will be next after this. Say what you like about Train Sim World doing yearly releases, etc., etc. I do think that Train Sim World 5 does have quite a few improvements over the original, over TSW4. Say, dynamic suspension being implemented on basically all the trains across all the base routes, and also the track shadow improvements, and what else? And also guard mode, while being mediocre, it is still a welcome addition to the game. And also the addition of a free starter pack is what really sold. Oh, just banged my mic. Is what really sold TSW5 for me personally. To tell you the truth, after Train Sim World 4, after Train Sim World 5 was announced, I was like, no, I'm going to switch my channel entirely over to Microsoft Flight Simulator. You can't. I'm done with Dovetail and their shenanigans. But the free starter pack convinced me to keep playing Train Sim World, and now it's still my most played game. Like, despite its flaws, despite the bugs, despite the stuttering, despite everything which I complain about, it is still by far my favorite video game. Alright, 4 miles to Cheddington. I haven't been allowed to go up to 110 yet. This is ridiculous. How's the frame rate doing? 28 frames per second is pretty bad, not gonna lie. It's just that this route is not that well optimized. Wonder where that train was going. It's coming from Crewe. Wow, they run 350s as far north as Crewe? Impressive. Oh, another train that the developers also need to add is what do they need to add? They need to add the Class 730 Aventra that West Midlands Rail uses. Those brand new Class 730s. Those are pretty cool. Like, if we could, they have a West Midlands Rail license. Like, come on, we could. Well, at least the last time I know, they had a. Last time that I heard, they had a West Midlands license. If they could do West Midlands Rail Class 730 as an add-on for this route, and also as an add-on for Birmingham Cross City, that'd be pretty cool. That might even convince me to get Birmingham Cross City. Oh, 98 miles an hour. Excuse me. I've been looking into this program called Third Rails, where it's basically like a tracker for TS Classic and Train Sim World trains, and you can track like other people's. I've mentioned this before, haven't I? Oh my goodness! Sometimes my memory is crazy. Oh, Pendo. Let's see where you're going, mate. It is the Manchester Piccadilly service. Probably the smoothest stop I've done yet. And we're on time again. Now that's what I'm talking about. That it's just a feeling of satisfaction that you get from a train game, that you do from running on time with on max difficulty, that you don't really get in any other game. Alright. This is Cheddington, isn't it? Yep. Rather an isolated station, I must say. One thing I don't like about the 350 is how the DSD goes off when you're stationary. Don't really like that. But then again, that happens on my favorite train, British train, in TSW, the class 87, and I'm pretty sure that will happen in the 86 as well. Next stop, Leighton Buzzard in 4 miles. Wonder where he's going. Oh, I've got Pedalino approaching from the rear. so cool. Chat, let me know down in the comments which timetable do you prefer. The on-track simulation 2019 timetable with the Virgin Pendolinos, the old LNWR 350s, and a couple of 87 rail tours, or do you prefer the 2024 mod timetable with the Class 805 IET, the 87 hauling some freight services, which I assume is a stand-in for Freightliner 86s. One and a half miles to Leighton Buzzard. Neutral zone. And we're on time again. Lovely. Let's watch this guy come in. What's this? Stop Leighton Buzzard. Right. Is this train coming in? It is the Milton Keynes to Euston, and there's also the Crewe to Euston going past. Six miles to Bletchley, which is our second to last stop. I've actually been to Bletchley. I went to the code-breaking museum there a couple of years back. Unfortunately, I didn't know Bletchley was right next to the WCML at the time, otherwise 100% I'd have done some train spotting. What's this? What's this line? Oh, I thought this was a railway line. Turns out it's just a road. Do we have a tunnel coming up? We do, but it's a very short one. Tunnel. Bendo. And then... Ah, that was really loud. Another service coming along. Yes! Look at that! There it is! It's the Class 87. Oh, yeah. I had a feeling we'd see her around and about today. Oh, that makes me feel good. That's one of only two tight services that run in the entire 24-hour timetable. Impressive, right? Something that also annoys me about choosing West Coast Mainline South as a route specifically is that it's very flat. And I do mean quite flat. 'Cause let the speed come back naturally. Two miles to run. Looks as though we have a 75 limit going through Bletchley. Mile, cutting to power. .75 limit in force. Bletchley is actually a pretty considerable size. It's even got the high speed platforms. Though I doubt any Pendolinas still use it. They use Bletchley. They all go. The Pendos just go through Milton Keynes. And we're early once again. Yes. Welcome to Bletchley, everyone. So yeah, the Code Breaking Museum is just like over that direction. There's some kind of industrial facility over here. Looks like some sheds too. Electrified. Next stop, Milton Keynes Central in 3 miles, which is our final stop of the day. Well, whereas this train will continue on its AI up to Rugley Trent Valley, which is this. Oh, there's the southern Milton Keynes Central to East Croydon service. Noise. What I could actually run the second part of this service if I had what was it? If I had WCML Trent Valley by Thomson Interactive for Trains of Classic, because Rugley Trent Valley is actually one of the stations on WCML Trent Valley. Miles to go. Should be there in a few minutes. We have to get there by 9:20 a.m. It looks as though the red signal is after Milton Keynes Central, so AWS will go off, but I'll keep. Since it's not a red signal before Milton Keynes Central, I'll just keep going at normal speeds. Come on. Thank you. That's the one. No speed limit changes through Milton Keynes. Oh my goodness. Whoa, why am I slowing down so much? Huh? What the... Huh? Did this... Oh, the TPWS system. I think. Oh, well maybe the AWS didn't engage properly. Never mind, we've got time. I still fully expect to get a platinum medal for today's efforts. There's a Pendo waiting for us. It is the Birmingham to Euston, and then the Euston to Crewe is also here as well. I think I know why emergency brake applied. I think the AWS system didn't recognize that I was... I wonder where that train from the north is coming from. It is the Liverpool to Euston. Right. Bit of an overshoot, but I can handle it. Welcome to Milton Keynes Central, everyone. My goodness, the frame rate. 14 FPS? Why? This route is so badly optimized, man. Alright, so that'll be it for today's video, everyone. We got a platinum medal. And yeah, that'll be all for this video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, and thank you so much for watching.